Our weather pattern is about to change as we go through this week, everybody. We have the warmer anomaly pushing through the east, the colder anomaly setting in the west, and this is bringing a good weather pattern for storms. Now, we have multiple storms still coming through. The first one is coming through from Friday into the weekend for the south central, a little bit across the southeast. This brings chances for damage and winds, maybe small hail, even an isolated tornado threat cannot be ruled out. Then our weather pattern is going into a deep dip along the west coast, and it's going to bring a long duration event where it's bringing a lot of precipitation into the cold air, bringing feet of snow, but heavy rainfall as well, and it is bringing some winds with that. Now, as we go through for tomorrow, we're going to see a change. There's going to be two different things that's going to happen. We're going to have a smaller system bring precipitation across the south. This will come across the southeast as well. This is bringing rainfall on this one. The next one is going to be your chance for a severe storm. And we're going to have this storm build up right along the west coast, where it's bringing some strong banding. It's going to bring chances for heavy snow, but also some winds and some rainfall that's going to come with that storm system as well as we go through for tomorrow. Now, this storm system is coming across the south as we go through Friday into Saturday, and it will transition into severe weather. It's also bringing some winds. Now, you can see these two events when you look at the update on the data, everybody. So you can see on our PNA that we're going to be in that negative PNA. This is bringing that trough of that storm system coming for this weekend across the south that's hitting across the west coast for tomorrow. Then we're going into a deep negative all the way to a -3 as we go into the week after. This will put a strong trough along the west coast. This continuously pushing precipitation into the west coast, and it will come across the central and the eastern U.S. as well, bringing potential rainfall or snow. That portion is still a little too far. And just trying to be honest and accurate for you, that portion is too far on what that storm system is going to do. So let's stick with the first one and the weather pattern. You can see we also have a big chunk of cold air that's going to come down as we go through that deep trough along the west coast. This is what's bringing a lot of snow. So you can see this when you look at your weather pattern. So you look at your vorticity, we have that upper level low, that little trough of storms coming through for the south. Also is hitting along the west coast for tomorrow. And once across the south, we'll transition across the southeast, and that's about it. Bring a little bit of snow towards New England on what's transitioning over there as well through your cold temperatures. But this storm system hitting right along the west coast for tomorrow will transition as we go through for Friday into Saturday. From Friday across the south central and Saturday across the deep south, bringing chances for damage and winds, maybe even an isolated tornado threat as that pushes across the east coast. Then we have that extreme pattern coming in for next week. We're going to get a deep trough of a lot of winds, a lot of precipitation going into cold air, bringing a lot of snow still, anywhere from 7 to 10 feet, mostly for the higher elevations, and then transition across the north central, bringing that other storm as well. But this is going to bring multiple storm systems with this weather pattern, everybody. So let's go back to the calendar, everybody. And as we go from Thursday into Friday and into Saturday, this is going to affect the South Central, Texas, Oklahoma, a little bit of Louisiana and Arkansas. As it goes out through Sunday and Monday, it's going to go across the Southeast, the Mid-Atlantic, and the Northeast. This portion, we don't know yet if it's going to be freezing rain or snow or more storms. I will show you the latest information. But also, as we go into next week from the 15th and 16th all the way to the 21st, there's going to be heavy precipitation along the west coast, building up chances for winds and heavy snow. And that has shifted a little bit more overnight. So the first strong storm potential as we go into Friday, you see late Friday, overnight into Saturday, we get some strong dew points. These dew points get all the way up into the 60s across the south. And now this is coming all the way across the southeast as well. It's very light. It's in the low 50s for the Tennessee, Kentucky. So I think this will be somewhere around the south central. For Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, a little bit of Mississippi, and maybe getting in towards Alabama and the panhandle of Florida. Now you can see when you look at all the dynamics of the atmosphere that we have a lot of strong temperatures around that day. As we go through Friday and Saturday, we actually get up into the 70s, even portions of the 80s come across for the south. So you can see this here, you get in the 70s, even some 80s for deep Texas. As you go through Saturday and into Sunday, it goes across the southeast as well. So we do have warmer temperatures, so this is going to bring some convection, it's going to bring some lift in the atmosphere. So as we go through for Friday into Saturday, showing that Saturday is going to be more likely the strongest portion of the storm system, where you get a lot of lift, a lot of convection. This is food for thunderstorms to get stronger and stronger. And as you go late Saturday evening across Arkansas, Louisiana, from Texas and Oklahoma, into overnight into Sunday. It goes across Alabama, Mississippi, then Georgia, a little bit of Florida panhandle. Now, this is going to bring some storms. However, showing with our lightning strikes that it is going to bring a lot of lightning strikes and chances for hail, but you're not seeing a lot of white in there. Now, when you have a lot of white, that means a lot of strong updrafts that keeps these particulates in the atmosphere over and over and over, and it just gets bigger and bigger for large hail. So I'm not seeing the white in there for large hail. It is showing that it has a chance for some good size hail for northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas as you go through Saturday evening, then it transitions into Mississippi, but you see how it starts weakening down on your lightning strikes. So showing the initial beginning over here for Louisiana and Arkansas, it has chances to get hail, not very large, but chances for some good sized hail. It definitely won't be small with that keeps verifying. Now we're still almost 6 days away from that portion right there. So we'll keep you updated. But you also see when you look at your lower level winds, your 850 millibars, that our winds start tightening up and we actually get some strong winds that starts building up around that time. So 3 o'clock in the afternoon around Saturday, showing Louisiana and Arkansas coming from eastern Texas, eastern Oklahoma. The winds really build up. And then to the evening for Louisiana going to Mississippi and Tennessee and Kentucky, look how the winds build up. Now this helps bring some convection, bring a lot of lift. This also helps bring chances for wind direction change with height, chances for tornadoes over here along the southern side. It also could bring some larger hail, everybody, if this shows true as it gets a little bit closer. But this is also bringing chances for damage and winds as this passes by for Saturday, even overnight into Sunday for the deep south going through the Tennessee, Kentucky Valley, all the way towards Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast, where there may or may not be some freezing rain or snow. Because you can see the difference between the two main models, the Euro and the GFS. The Euro is showing a better chance for these storms to build up as you go through for Saturday morning, when you get that low pressure system all the way towards lunchtime. So this is where you're getting chances for damage and winds. You could have a QL CS tornado inside that line of storms as well. And it moves further towards the east as you go through the evening all the way into late night for Saturday. So you still have chances for damage and winds to come through with it. Also on the southern side, you could get chances for hail and a brief tornado as you go through for Saturday. Now, as you go through for Sunday into Sunday evening, this is where it can change for chances for a precipitation mix. You can get freezing rain, you can get snow, some more storms across the southeast that could bring more severe threats. While you're getting storms along California, just not as strong as what you're getting across the south, but you get another pitch of storms coming across for the southwest. So you can see the two differences. We have a 996 millibar storm in the northeast by Monday early morning and a 998 right off the coast of California. And this will bring multiple storms. It's going to be more than just two. This is going to pivot to multiple storms coming across for the west, everybody. Now, when you look at the update with the Euro, just come out this morning showing the same information except for the mixture, showing it could mix a little bit early and get a swath of some snow or some freezing rain over here for the Ohio Valley across the Great Lakes. But again, you can see the severity in this line of storms as is built. Now, when you go with GFS, it don't have a lot of high resolution. It's not a high resolution model, but you can see the chances for the damage and winds that could build up in the system, agreeing that it will be a little bit further towards the south. And you don't see so much of that big storm system that it was showing a few runs ago. So it has let that go just a little bit. But at the same time, you can see the other storms building up along the west coast by the time we go through Monday morning. So there's going to be a train of storms. There's going to be one after another, still showing about 3. So the severity side, as we go through Saturday, you can see with National Weather Service, they don't have anything just yet, but Colorado State University is starting to see an area where we have a 5% threat, and this could grow. This is still 6 days away, everybody. I think we could see a slight risk over here for southern Arkansas, Louisiana, going into Mississippi as well. Just those strong winds or aloft is going to help strengthen this storm. Now, other impacts did shift around just a little bit. We still have our wind threat, even our moderate level risk. Now, the moderate level risk did switch a little bit. It did take out northern Utah, northwestern Wyoming, and none of Nevada. So it did take that portion out of the latest update. Showing the latest information that that storm system coming through from Saturday into Sunday could bring the 40 and 50 miles per hour wind gusts over here for the south going across the Tennessee, Kentucky Valley. Also, what strengthens up from that weather pattern right behind it, still showing is bringing chances for 40 and 50 miles per hour wind gusts. 50 is the orange. Even the higher elevation still showing 60 or 70 or even 80. It's showing 92, but it's a very high tip of Colorado. The snowfall is still showing about the same as last time, a little bit indifference. Our moderate level risk from Northern California into Southern Oregon has grown. This is for the higher elevations, and our higher risk has gotten longer in California as well. Still showing over for the interior Northeast and for New England, getting up 3 to 5 inches, even getting 6 or 7 inches in that purple for the higher elevations. This is the next 5 days. And you see that snowfall starting to add up from the west all the way across the north central going into Canada as we go into next week. Still showing feet of snow, everybody. And you see how much further to the north this storm system has gone. Now this is going right past 10 days, so this is still right at 10 days. And you see with GFS, that pretty much is trending that warmer scenario, that dry spell of that snowstorm. Now we get a little bit closer, it could change a little bit to a lot of areas with mix, but the rainfall coming right behind it would wash away the snow. The big story is going to be all this heavy snowpack coming along the west, and they really want it. Well, we do need to be careful because, like I said, we could see a mix of freezing rain before the rain actually washes any of it away. So it could bring a lot of dangerous travels as the storm system comes across for the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, out through the Northeast as we go past this weekend. And the rainfall has shifted a little bit as well, everybody. So you can see all the way from the 16th all the way to the 22nd. So all week long. You see how you got that slight risk for heavy rainfall. You have that moderate level risk, but now you got the high risk that's stretching across central and southern California. This is going to bring flooding. So make sure you're aware of this. These storms are going to pivot right along the southwest for a few days. And remember, right in the middle of next week is the deepest and strongest time. Now you can see here Weather Prediction Center as we go forward just for the next 7 days, the rainfall that's coming through, everybody. So all the way from the mid-Atlantic all the way towards the south, you got rainfall coming in your direction from these storms, also along the west coast. Now this will get heavier for Southern California as we go past 7 days because we're going to stay in this weather pattern for a little bit. Now, when you look with the Euro, you can see about the same thing for the next 8 days. It does go further and further down California all the way to 8 and 9 days, bringing heavier rainfall. Now, the temperatures are going through a big change as we go through this week, everybody. So for your highs for today, you're going to get that big warm up all the way across the southwest, all the way across the central, the south, the southeast. You're going to stay frozen over here for the northeast and with the wind chills once again for another day. For tomorrow, it comes back down again, but now it's going to start moving through from the west across the north central and with our wind chills for tomorrow morning. But once again, for tomorrow, it will warm all the way back up again, especially across the southwest, the south, and the southeast, and with the wind chills for our highs for tomorrow. Now, Wednesday, freezing temperatures coming down all across the northern side of the lower 48, bringing the wind chills down with it again, everybody. Thursday is going to come down again, bringing the wind chills with it again. And Friday is coming down again. This is where the storm system is moving from the south, going towards Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio Valley, towards the northeast, on whether you're going to get freezing rain, sleet, snow, or just rainfall. And the wind chills coming with it. I will keep you updated. And that is your latest weather update on what's going on right around the corner, everybody. So thank you again for your time. Hope you have a blessed week this week. Happy Monday to every single one of you. And for anybody that's going through some rough times right now and you're having a really rough morning, think about this. A word from our Father. Romans 8:18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Amen. Remember, everybody, no matter what you're going through, how rough things are getting, the best is yet to come. Amen. And above all things, all glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope He keeps you safe every single day of your life and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody. If there's any dramatic changes, I'll do an afternoon update for today.